So there is the bump. I'll move a little bit backward. The baby's a girl. Ever since she's been really active, she moves quite a lot in it, and it also has this Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As the title says, today we will talk about the second trimester. So I am in week 28 now, and I never really understood what the trimesters, or like how the trimesters are counted. For me it makes more sense to be like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. But I think that according to my app, up to week 13 you're in the first trimester, and then up to week 27 you're in the second trimester. So yeah, now it's week 28, so I guess we are in the third trimester. Probably, as all the other videos that you've watched on YouTube on this topic, I have to say that it's better. Like, it just got better for me compared to the first one. But let's dig into 10 things about the second trimester. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what was the most exciting things this trimester, which was definitely finding out the gender of the baby. And we didn't do a gender reveal, and I already announced it in the very first video where I announced the pregnancy, that it is a little girl. But I thought I would tell you a little bit more about how we found out. So we actually had a doctor appointment here in Switzerland. I think it was week 18 if I'm not mistaken. And the week before we were in Turkey for Hugh's nephew's birthday. He turned 2. And doctor visits there are considerably cheaper. It was, I don't know, maybe like 20 francs or something. So we said, okay, we were kind of like losing our patience. So we said, okay, let's just go and find out. And I told you in my first video that we both had the dream that it was a boy. But when we got there, the doctor basically did a scan, and at some point she just said, the baby's a girl in Turkish. I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce it because probably my Turkish is not so good. But yeah, I understood it, and yeah, it was a really, really exciting moment. We also have pictures basically of like the baby butt, but I've tried to send that picture to my family and they were like, oh, what is that? Like, I don't get it. So I'm not gonna insert it, but yeah, I think that was the most exciting thing in the second trimester. The second thing that I want to talk about is symptoms, and especially like nausea and acid reflux, because those were my main symptoms in the first trimester. And I would say that I actually didn't have much nausea. It happens sometimes that I will like wake up, or I don't know, later in the day that I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling a bit sick, but it was definitely not as bad as in the first trimester. That being said, and I hope that none of you has fear of vomiting, I did throw up for the very first time in my pregnancy. It was just one morning. I don't know why it happened, but I took my daily medicine, and I'm gonna talk about them in a sec. And I also took my daily vitamins in the morning. Afterwards, I read that you're supposed to take them with your meals. So I don't know if it was because of that, or yeah, I didn't have breakfast right away. I had like an apple, and then I had a meeting at like 11, and I could feel that I was not feeling well. And yeah, I threw up for like 2 or 3 times that day, but then afterwards it never happened again. And the acid reflux has also been much better. I can feel it sometimes, but yeah, I don't know if it was the omeprazole, like the medicine that I took, or something else, but it's been much better compared to the first trimester. I know that many people say that the third trimester is the worst in terms of acid reflux because the baby is so high. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. The third thing that I want to talk about is cravings. I don't know if I just got lucky. I know that everyone's pregnancy is different, but honestly, I haven't had any cravings this trimester either. I didn't have them in the first trimester. The only thing that changed in terms of food is that I can eat sweets now. I was like literally I don't know, just the thought of eating sweets made me sick in the first trimester, and that is not the case now. I'm still not eating much, but if I ever feel like, or how can I say, if I ever want to, I do feel like it sometimes. So yeah, that's been, I think, the biggest change in terms of food. So let's move on to baby moving. I don't remember when is the first week when we felt the baby by, like, I don't know, like putting the hand on my tummy, and we thought at least that we felt the baby, but it was way before when I could like literally feel it from inside. So the first week when I could feel the baby, like truly feel the baby, was week 2021. I remember that I had a training and I was like standing up quite a lot, and yeah, I could just feel her move inside. And ever since, she's been really active. She moves quite a lot, and now you can even see her like little kicks from outside. So that's very, very exciting. And also the baby bump, I would say it started showing already like around maybe week 20. I don't know if I have pictures, I'm gonna insert. It was like relatively small. And yeah, it's been growing ever since. I think I showed you the baby bump, I don't know, in like week 22, 23, when I filmed the very first pregnancy video. And I can give you an update now, or at least I can attempt to give you an update. So there is the bump. I'll move a little bit backwards so that you can see. This is the 28 weeks bump. Okay, so let's talk physical changes. I would say that my skin has been much better in this trimester compared to the first one. I don't know if it's because the hormone levels are, yeah, just a little bit more leveled compared to the first trimester or not, but yeah, it's been pretty good. And like I said in my other videos, I'm not gonna talk about weight changes or anything like that. I'm just gonna say that for me personally, there's been a bigger change in the second trimester compared to the first one. And yeah, it's a roller coaster. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. But it's very different for everyone. So I don't really wanna dwell on that for too long. However, I did work out a lot more in the second trimester. I started working out again after we came back from the Philippines. Then like I took a break because work was getting crazy. But for the past 3-4 weeks or so, I think that yeah, month 5 to 6 was probably one of my most active ones, since yeah, I felt a lot better and not too heavy yet. So I tried to move my body as much as I could. So let's talk about baby scans in the second trimester. The first scan was the one that I mentioned, the one in week like 18, I think it was, where we could have found out the gender of the baby, but we already had, because we did a scan in Turkey, and that was just a test to make sure that everything is okay. The next test, you do it, I heard it's between week 22 and 23 here in Switzerland. It's kind of like fixed term, because I guess otherwise if there are problems, the insurance doesn't cover them. But this again probably differs country by country, but that is like the big morphological scan of the baby, and we did it in week 23. And yeah, that was really nice because they look at every single organ, they look at all the limbs, you know, the legs, the feet, they count the fingers, same for the arms, the hands, they count the toes, sorry, but the fingers as well. They look at all chambers of the heart and at the brain, and yeah, everything. And that is also when the doctor could kind of like really confirm the gender, because in week 18 she told us, oh, you have to believe me, I cannot show you on the scan, but you have to believe me that it is a baby girl. And afterwards in the big morphological scan she could actually confirm it. And the third doctor appointment that I had in the second trimester was last week or 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago. And that was the diabetes test, and this is something that is so different from country to country, but here in Switzerland some gynecologists do a full-blown diabetes test. My gynecologist just does a general blood test, And if something is off in the test, or if you have a history of diabetes in your family, then they do the regular test, which in Switzerland is basically like you drink sugar. I haven't done it, so it's all hearsay, but you drink a sugary drink that is like flavored. No, first you do a blood test, then you drink a sugary drink, and then they take another blood sample 1 hour later and 2 hours later. But yeah, for me, I never had to do that, because if the first blood test doesn't come out positive, they don't do the one with the sugary drink for my gynecologist. And that was it in terms of scans in the second trimester. We actually have one next week, again just a checkup for the baby, and then there's one week 33 and 38, but I'm gonna talk more about those in the third trimester video. Next thing that I want to talk about is medicine. So I think in the first trimester video I talked about the prenatal vitamins, which is what I took until the 18-week scan, I think. So afterwards I actually switched to these pregnancy vitamins that have iron and omega-3. So these are the ones that your sister used in the UK, and honestly there's no right or wrong answer. My gynecologist actually told me that I can purchase them in France because they are cheaper and they're not subsidized. So yeah, and since we were going to Turkey and these British ones that we knew worked well for his sister were available there, we just went with that. And other than that, I'm not taking a lot. I'm just taking the omeprazole. I'm gonna take it out. It looks like this. This is for acid reflux. Since it worked for me, I asked the doctor to give me like a renewable prescription. And yeah, there's just a pill that you take once a day in the morning, about half an hour before you have breakfast. And other than that, this is a huge box. But I take magnesium. You can take it, this one is basically a small pill that you put in water, in like half a glass of water, and then you drink it. It has a lemony taste. And you can take it, I think, up to twice a day. You just have to be careful because magnesium can give you diarrhea. So yeah, I take it usually just once a day in the morning after the omeprazole. And you have to take it before your meal. So even if you take it twice a day, try to take it before the breakfast and before dinner. But I'm not a doctor, so again, your doctor and your pharmacist will let you know how to take the medicine and what medicine you should take for your pregnancy and your situation. Okay, so let's talk about traveling in the second trimester. We traveled quite a lot. Let me think. Probably the first place that I went to was Saudi Arabia. I went there for work, and then afterwards we went to Belgrade for my nephew's surgery, and then we went to Turkey because I had a checkup for my Invisalign. Have we traveled anywhere else? And then we did some like long car ride trips here in Switzerland. So what I'm gonna say about travel is that it does get harder as the baby grows, in my experience. I feel like I am a lot more tired. My back hurts more, so it is a lot less comfortable to be seated for a long time. Like the baby is kicking a lot more, and yeah, just my lower back hurts. And sometimes if we travel for a long time and I'm in a seated position for a long time, when I lie down at night, I have like this really stabbing pain along the middle of my back. And yeah, also the swelling gets much worse, at least for me. Like my legs get a lot more swollen when we travel. But I do medical massage every 2 weeks, where I try to do like lymphatic drainage for my arms and legs, and also massage for the back. And I also go to an osteopath, which helps me with the back. But yeah, just be mindful. In the end, it's a choice. I mean, some people have to travel, and some is just preference, or whether you want to take holidays and so on. But in my experience, it does get harder to travel as the pregnancy progresses. And we still have one trip planned in like week 33, so yeah, 4 or 5 weeks from now. and I will let you know in the third trimester video how that went. That is the last planned plane trip, so to say, and actually, yeah, long trip. We don't have any other long trips planned. And to wrap up this video, the last thing that I want to talk about is other purchases that I've done for myself, because you've probably already seen part 1 of the must-haves for babies, and I will do part 2 and part 3. So I'll try in these videos to talk about a couple of things that I buy for myself, and there really isn't much. I mean, there wasn't much in the first video either. So there are 3 things that I want to show you. The first one is a pyjama. So I bought this pyjama at Migros, which is our local basically grocery store, like our local retailer, and it looks like this. It's like a light green pyjama, and it's ribbed. I thought that it would be good like as the belly grows, and also after postpartum, so that it's not very tight on the belly. The pants unfortunately do have like an elastic at the top, so I always have to wear them under the belly, otherwise they are uncomfortable. But yeah, this is one of the things that I bought, because most of my current pajamas are regular cotton t-shirts or cotton long-sleeved pajamas, so they are not very flexible, while this one is like super stretchy. The second thing that I want to show you is tights. So I basically lived in tights even before the pregnancy, I would say, like for more than a year. So I ordered 2 more, I purchased actually 2 more tights from Penty, like the one that I showed you last time. That's what I'm wearing right now, and that's because I wear them all the time. They're very comfortable, comfortable over the belly, and since I wear them so frequently, I just wanted to have some spares so that I can change them, or in case one of them breaks. And then my sister-in-law gave me 2 pairs of tights. One is gray and one is black. They're exactly the same, and yeah, basically they have this like belly pouch. I don't know exactly where they're from. It's written Esmara on them. If I will ask her, so if I can find them, I will link them for you. And the last thing that I'm gonna show you is a sweater that again I got from my sister-in-law. I didn't buy it myself. It's from Mama BPC. It's this like navy color, and it's basically just a sweater. I'm gonna put it on, maybe you can like see. It has come in handy because I mean some of my sweaters still fit, but some of them I cannot close. Same for the jackets, and it's October now, so it's like getting cold. Just gonna show you a little bit the sweater. So it actually has an insertion, so an extra part that you can put here if you want to carry the baby as well. But basically it's just a zip-up sweater, and there's still space in it. And it also has these zippers on the side if you need additional space for the belly, or afterwards when the baby comes, if you want to keep the baby warm inside and like close to you as well. But yeah, that's it in terms of purchases, and also in terms of second trimester. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how your second trimester went, or if you have any other questions about the second trimester that you would like me to answer. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Thank you for watching. Bye!